Hey, how's it going? I've been playing Ultimate Ironman for 1 year now, and I want to show all the progress I've made since I started the account 1 year ago. I made an April Fool's video hinting at this video, but I wanted to wait until the account was actually 1 year old before making this. I think it might be a couple days past the year, but I wasn't able to make the video because I've been on the road, so I haven't even logged in since then anyways. But today we're going to be looking at all the items I have and accomplishments I've achieved and stuff like that. And I think I'll keep this video in the UIM playlist, but not actually include it as an episode number because it is pretty different from the normal style I make. I want to do this intro talking over going through the costume room box thing because there's not much to say, but there's a lot of items to scroll through. And this way you can see the items I was able to store in there for each tier of clue. By the way, this is one reason why UIMs have a bank pin. So if you get hacked, no one can take anything out from your POH or edit the rooms. Bank pins also protect your stash units, coffers such as Nightmare Zone, the Tool Leprechaun, which could be important if you have a bombless bucket. If you want to de-iron, you have to enter your bank pin, and there's many more reasons too. My account's age has never been a secret because I've shown it in quite a few videos before, and I've been saying since episode 1 that the first video was posted like the day after I made the account. So if someone was going to hack me with that info, they could have done it already. Okay, let's cut to the live commentary. Hello, let's check our age and our time played with Hans. So we've spent 154 days in game since I arrived 366 days ago. Yeah, so 1 day more than a year. But you saw right at the start that I haven't logged in for almost 2 days. So that's about 3,700 hours. But wait, before your very original comment of how much time I wasted, consider this. We're all gonna die anyways, so literally anything anyone does is a waste. Now, let's carry on with the video. Back to the treasure box thing here. My favorite thing that I have is this iron armor set. I think I stacked up like 250 easy clues, and this was like the coolest set that I got complete, was the full iron trimmed. I'm so glad I got that. That looks freaking sick. So I mean, I guess it's like a splashing set, but it's a pretty cool flex for UIM, I think. I guess there's really not much to talk about as I go through the armor case here as well. You can just like see all the armors I have. The costume room is very important for UIM because you could take out any of these armors that you see in here anytime you want and allows you to store them. So yeah, that's all the stuff that we got in here. Oh, there's one more page. Okay, yeah, I have nothing there. The Angler's outfit goes in there too. I'm just wearing it, but yeah, I do have that. And here's the magic wardrobe. Now, a late game goal for a lot of UIM is to get full ancestral because you can actually store that in the magic wardrobe. Only issue with that though is that you have to have the full set in order to store the ancestral. You can't just store one piece at a time. Wait, never mind. You store ancestral in the armor case for some reason. I mean, I guess it's technically armor, but point remains the same. It's still a really nice set you can store. And here's the cape rack. So I've only done one Jad before, but now they have the blowpipe. Before I go back to Slayer, I'm going to make sure to unlock that. Because I'll probably want to keep on doing it for the future. Actually, maybe not. If I get 99 range before then, we'll see. Oh yeah, I have the quest cape as well. The quest cape was like the goal I had for a long time, and now that I have that, I've been kind of sort of trying to work towards the diary cape, and I want to get the music cape as well eventually. Now here's a cape that we'll never get, and that one either. And probably never going to get champion's cape on this account as well. Oh yeah, and I'm just wearing the mythical cape right now. Yeah. The toy box is essentially just like having Diango in your house. You can just claim back these items whenever you want. I think there's a few items that you actually have to buy from Diango and put in here or something. But wasn't that from like the Midsummer event? No, I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't do a couple of these, but the reason why I have items from previous years like 2014, 2015, etc. is because when you do any holiday event, you get all the previous items and rewards from the previous years, so they all show up in here too. There's a bunch of like miscellaneous events that Jagex has done that isn't necessarily a holiday, but yeah, I mean for the most part I've done all the major holiday events like Christmas, Halloween, Easter. So I have a lot of these. And then the toy box is the random event items and outfits that we have. Some of these are kind of hard to finish because you have to get the random event like 3 or 4 times or something to get all the pieces. And then you have to like hold those pieces on you that whole time too, which is just kind of like a mess unless you're just AFKing fishing for like 300 hours straight, then maybe it's not too bad to collect these. Before I keep showing all the stuff in the POH, let's get to the juicy stuff. So I have all my stuff in Hispori right now because I was fighting Hispori and I died. So all my items are being held over here. So yeah, this is This is what I got. I'm currently working on trying to complete the BGS because there's a stash unit that requires the Bandos Cloak, Bandos Plate Body, and the Bandos God Sword. I have the hilt, and then I have God Sword Shards 1 and 2, and I have 2 sets of 1 and 2. So I need God Sword Shard 3, I need 2 of those as well, one for the BGS and one for the SGS. And I'm almost 800 KC at 0 without any Shard 3, so it's a little bit frustrating, but I've gotten so lucky everywhere else on this account that I am not upset whatsoever. I gotta go try somewhere, right? 400 mil worth of items. Probably no one tried hacking me before, but now that I'm actually showing this, everyone's gonna be freaking writing down that account age trying to get in, bro. What else is notable? I used the Suffering for Zora. I finished Zora. Oh, we got ACB from Sarah. Warhammer, Prims. As for the Pegasian Crystal, I don't think I ever want to just grind out medium clues. I'm just doing them passively through Slayer, and maybe from like skilling too. Is that not how you do that? Is it medium? Is that it? No. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, 152 medium clues done. So we're still below the drop rate of Gang Ranger boots. We've got a very well-deserved Hosta, Toxic Trident. We got a fat stack of Zora scales. Whenever I need to AFK, that's pretty much my go-to thing at the moment, is just fishing Zora scales. I guess since we're here, I may as well show you what we have in the Tool Leprechaun. I do have the Bombless Bucket. I've gotten one of them. And yeah, that's really all there is to show here, I guess. I have 7 farming contracts done. Farming contracts, I believe, are the most efficient way to train Herblore for a UIM, but the weird thing about UIM is you kind of have to like train the skills with each other, sort of. So you'd be doing agility or pest control, and then you'd be checking your farm contracts in between, as well as doing farm runs in between. That's really mainly if you're trying to go for 99 Herblore, which I don't plan to do, or if you're just rushing Herblore for whatever reason. If you couldn't tell already, it is very hard to hop between skills as a UIM, and then UIMs do not have access to the seed vault. Let's go grab the collection log here out of the bookcase, and we'll just scroll through that. I haven't done Sire, but I have gotten the Abyssal Head drop, although the only one that I would ever make into the Slayer helm would be the Vorkath head, because when you put the Vorkath head in there, you can actually take it back out again. So that way it's like a way to store a assembler in a way. And I've gotten 11 whips, 10 of which I've dropped over to the main. And I do still plan to eventually make a video on my main just showing like all the loot from items I've dropped over to it, because I have a little tab going on there. I will make that video eventually, TM. Probably a long time from now. Here's all the Barrow stuff. I have full Durox, which just happened to be the first set that I completed. I wasn't specifically going for Durox, I just wanted to complete a set for the diary, but this worked out pretty well because I have used it for Mole and Nightmare Zone. That's 274 Barrows chests. We did manage to complete this boss after a very, very long grind. Cerberus, 191 kills, and we got... yeah, we got these. I dropped both these stones over to the main because I'd rather have a crystal pick than an infernal pick, and you could store variants in the stash unit. But for some reason with the dragon axe, you can't store variants of the dragon axe in that stash unit, which would have been nice because the infernal axe is a master clue step, but it's just part of being a UIM. You know, you can't have everything. Chaos Elemental, we got the D pick 141 KC. That was a whole fun experience in itself. And then for the Ceradoman God Wars boss, this is where we are currently at right now in the account. I've not gotten any other shards from any other God Wars boss, so all these shards are from Cera. You can see we do have the Ceradoman's Light unlocked. I dropped 2 ACBs over to the main, and hopefully someday soon we can get the Shard 3, because I think they fixed the hop limit, I want to say. I don't think they've announced anything about it yet, but I'll have to ask around a few people because I haven't really been keeping up with that. What else is notable here? DKs, we've gotten the Axe and the B-Ring in 31 KC. I didn't even want the B-Ring, I'm just happy with my Suffering, so I dropped that over to the main. From Bandos, all we got was the Hilt, which we got at 85 KC, and then I did a few more kills just for fun. Giant Mole, we got the pet. 386 KC, 1 tentacle from Kraken and 77 KC. We don't talk about the Zami Spear, nor do we talk about the Smoke Devil boss. I've never killed any regular Smoke Devils on this account, by the way. We got the Vorkath head at 50 KC, so we got the 1 guaranteed head. We got full pyro. We did not get the axe from here, by the way. That was just from the DKs, but it still shows up in here. We got the pet and the tome. I'll probably drop the tome, I'm thinking, after I max out my house. I still have to figure that out, but that's probably what I'll end up doing. And then Zora, here's everything we got from Zora. It took me like 12, 15, I think, to get the Tansfang, which was the last unique of like the main 3 drops. Surprisingly, we only got one Onyx. I was expecting a lot more. And then the Zora Scales caps out at 65, 535 because of integers. It's 2 raised to the 16th power minus 1. Just a weird way the game's coded. I've not done raids yet. And then clues. I mean, I showed you all the clue stuff that we have stored in the treasure box thing, but not everything you can necessarily store without the set, because a lot of these armor sets especially require the full set, so you didn't see them in there, but you can see them here now. So here's all the easy ones. This is the one I have the most done of. I do want to get 500 easy clues done eventually for the large spade. And then as for the mediums, here's what we have over here. Got pretty lucky with that Bandos cloak for the stash unit, and same thing with the Bandos plate body that we got from the hard clues. And speaking of hard clues, 3 pieces of gilded and 107 hard clues. So that was a thing that happened. I ended up dropping all those over to the main. I did actually end up using the gilded plate legs for a little while when I got them because I had rune plate legs, so they were the same stats as rune plate legs, so I pretty much just swapped them out until I got tank legs from Barrows. But all 3 of these have been sitting in the tab on my main. I don't have too many elite clues done. We've got 19 done, so there's not too much here. And then same thing with the masters. I've done 2 masters. No uniques from there, but yeah. And then pages, I finished these 2 books. And I have a lot of these pages for these books that I have only 3 pages for. Like, look at that. The game's trolling, bro. It's trolling so hard. And then blessings, teleports, all that good stuff. Okay, moving on to the next tab here. I definitely didn't just spend the whole night fishing, and it's definitely not a new day now. So moving on to minigames, I got the torso, and then I also got the granite body from Barb Assault because I need to do that for the diary. I forgot how many games it took me for full anglers. I want to say it was like 45 or something like that. Then for Mage Train Arena, only thing I've ever unlocked so far is Bones to Peaches. Pest Control, I actually got all the points for Elite Void. I just haven't gotten around to doing the diary yet, but I have the points waiting for me, so I won't have to do Pest Control once I get the Western Hard Diary done. Rogue's Outfit, very easy. I remember going here for the Flamtear bag when I was training construction, and also to make Split Bark maybe once or twice. I had to get the Fine Cloth because I didn't want to go and do the wildy stuff to get like certain Split Bark pieces. Yeah, the Woodcutting Outfit. From Tithe Farm, I've never gotten the seed box. Oh wow. Okay, I think the only thing I have from Tithe Farm is Autoweed. I guess there's no like thing in the collection log for it though. A lot of UIMs get the seed box, but the thing about that is I don't think the seed box is worth it unless you're going for 99 Herblore, because if you're just doing Slayer, you can use up more seeds than you would get from just doing casual Slayer tasks. So while you may have like a bunch of seeds in your inventory after like a Dagonoth task or something, you will use them up before you get another Dagonoth task or any other task that drops a lot of seeds. Then onto the other tab. I was going to show the menagerie, but I guess you could just see all the pets right here. We got the mole, Phoenix, Beaver, and Rocky. For the Champion's Cape, I actually got the Goblin Scroll while getting Bandos KC. I'm surprised I didn't get the Giant Scroll because a lot of people get that just from doing Slayer from like Fire Giants tasks or something. I need to go back to Chompies to get the Elite Diary done eventually, so I will get the 1000 kills and I will get the pet eventually. I guess here's some miscellaneous stuff here. Oh yeah, okay, so we got the Zenite at 209 KC, and of course I made that into the Suffering. I'll probably go back in the future, especially now that I have a blowpipe, but I'm happy for now. There's really no Zenites I specifically want, nor do I have space for them anyways at the moment. At Motherlode Mine, I have the upper floor and the bigger sack unlocked, and now that I'm thinking about it, I spent all my extra nuggets when I was training mining. I spent them all on gems. I should have just bought like each of these, the gem bag and the coal bag, just to have it filled out on the collection log, so maybe there's a bit of regret there, but if I ever do go back, I still won't have a use for the nuggets anyway, so I'm not too worried about getting those eventually. For the random events, I'm still heartbroken over this top. I was holding on to these 2 pieces for a long time. I think I was AFKing Sand Crabs. I was never able to get that. I'm so sad because I love that hat, but I had to drop them because you can't store this without the full set. Okay, anything else interesting in here? Slayer, here's some Slayer stuff. I don't know if there's really much to point out. 27 Dragon Boots while getting Sarah KC, which I'm sure will keep on going up once I head back over there. I don't even remember getting those Dragon Throne Axes actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, I actually have this set stored in the costume room. I forgot to point that out earlier, but I'm very proud of this one. I went a bit out of the way a long time ago to get that full set stored because you could only get the Mystic Light pieces from certain Slayer monsters. And then miscellaneous. Okay, I got 2 Scepters, one for the stash unit and then one for the altar, which I have built. Well, I have both those built. Yeah, I got the mounted Xerix Talisman, so I was grinding out those for a while. I guess that Onyx is from Zora. I don't think there's anything particular to point out from here. Yeah, here's my light mystic robe set. I'm actually really happy with this. Like, things like this are why I really love the UIM game mode, because if you're any other kind of account, you would not care about this outfit at all. Maybe if you're a regular completionist Ironman, it'd be cool to have it, but on a UIM, you have to go way out of the way committing all those back slots to being able to complete this full set until you have the whole thing done. Ooh, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Dude, yes, that is such easy hit points XP. How many people would I trigger if I did that? Okay, so I showed everything in the collection log. Let's go over to Watson's house in Zaya, and I will show you all the stash units that we have built, because there's a very convenient notice board that shows you what stashes you have built and which ones you have filled. This is a very useful tool to utilize for UIM. RuneLite also keeps track of your stashes, but I don't know if there's actually a way to see all the stashes all in one place. So we got all the beginner ones built and filled, all the easy ones built and filled, all the medium ones built and filled, and then here's the hard ones. I'm probably never going to build these wildy stash units just because at this point in my account, I have items that I just can't leave on the ground because they're untradeable or whatever. Is that the one with the Rune Heraldic Shield? Because I don't think I've ever gotten one. I think there's like 2 that require Rune Heraldic Shield, and is that the Rune Heraldic Helm, I think? Either way, I've never gotten any of those. I don't think, although maybe I could check the collection log. Yeah, no Heraldic Shields, no Heraldic Helms. Okay, so here's all the elite stashes I have built. I'm confused. Why does it say I don't have that one filled? Because I swear I got the split bark legs and built that stash a while ago. Okay, wait, after we go through this, I'm going to check that because I'm really paranoid about that. I don't know why it says that. I hope I didn't like accidentally drop those items or something. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of these elites and master stashes that I have done, of the ones I do have done. And yeah, here's the master ones. And this stash unit right here, you have to have 1 complete barrow set. So when I was doing the diary after I finished it, I just put it in the stash unit right here. For the Well of Voyage, I had to get the Dark Mystic Robe top and the Dark Mystic Robe bottom along with the Ivan staff, so I saved those 2 pieces from Slayer. This is the Pyramid Plunder one. That's where I stored my scepter. And then with this stash unit at the Soul Altar, that is where my Dragon Pickaxe is hiding at. The Warriors Guild Bank stash unit is probably one of the most notable stash units for UIM. It's essentially like the Slayer stash unit. You store the Slayer Helm, Dragon Defender, and Dragon Battle Axe there. Like, that's just so convenient too, because usually you would use the Dragon Battle Axe spec and then use the Super Attack potions to balance that out. So very, very convenient. I have Arclight stored in that one, and the Catacombs one. I got the Zamorak Full Helm. I think I've actually gotten that item a couple times, but you need that for the one outside of Zami God War's room. Let me actually check that right here. So I've gotten, yeah, 2 of those Zami Full Helms. Okay, this has to be glitched. It says that this one isn't filled, top floor of Yanel Watchtower. That's another one that I'm very proud of, because you have to have the Dragon Chain Body, Dragon Plate Skirt, and then a couple other items. And I actually got the Dragon Chain Body from Dust Devils a long time ago, like shortly after making the account, and I was holding on to it for a while. And then I eventually got the Dragon Plate Skirt from Vorkath around like 40 something KC. I didn't want to go to Wyverns or Brutal Black Dragons for the Dragon Plate Skirt though, because the amount of time it would take to get to that drop rate would be like 20 or 25 hours just to meet the drop rate, and even then, you know, it's not guaranteed. And in that time, I could spend a lot of time progressing the account. I figured I'd have to go to Vorkath eventually anyways, and I was pretty sure I'd just get from Vorkath while going for the Assembler, and I did. I have a Death Tiara stored in the Death Altar stash unit. I remember I was doing Dark Beast. Oh, I forgot to point out, I got a Dark Bow from Dark Beast. And then at some other time, I got the Death Talisman again from Dark Beast, because when I first did Mooring Zen Part 2, I don't think I had the requirement to build Master Stashes, I don't think. So I didn't build it at the time. I just dropped it until like way later on. Then when I got the Death Talisman, I just held on to that and then built the Death Altar stash unit. The Enchanted Valley one is where you can store a Dragon Axe by itself. I know that one's not filled because I have the Dragon Axe on me. The Draenor Village stash has the whip in there, and I had to get Spine Chaps for that one, which was a whole little expedition on its own, but this is, I think, will be like a rebuild stash unit. If I ever wipe or get hacked or something, I would go there and get the whip out, and then grind out a second whip, and then put the original whip and Spine Chaps and stuff back in that stash unit. And then this is probably the luckiest stash unit I have built. That's the one that requires the Bryophytus staff, so I do have that one. But let's go check that stash unit and the Elite stash unit, because I'm kind of paranoid about that right now. I guess we just teleport right to the Watchtower. Okay, the stash unit is right up over here, so can we search it and get the items out? Okay, okay, good. Okay, and then for this stash unit, we do have this in here. Okay, let's check the nose board again, see if that updated. All right, let's find out. If we go back over to Elite, okay, now it shows up as filled, and then the Master one also shows up as filled. Okay, weird little bug or something. I guess we'll just go back to the house now, and I'll just show you around the house and show some of the things that I have built, because not everything is that easy to make for a UIM. I talked about the mounted Xerix Talisman before. I was grinding out shamans until I got the Warhammer, and then I went over to stone chests and then just thieved the stone chest for more Xerix Talismans, because you need 5,000 things to build this. And I did one raid on this account for the diary, and I got the stone tablet on the first KC, which I think it's 1 out of 10, so not super rare, but you know, I'm sure no one was surprised that I got that. And that allows you to use the Xerix Honor teleport with the Xerix Talisman, and that will take you straight over to raid, so that could be pretty useful. By the way, when I got the tablet, I already had the mounted Xerix Talisman, and you can use the tablet on the mounted one, so I didn't have to grind out an extra talisman just to get that teleport unlocked. For the mounted dig site, you need 250 rubies, and I got a bunch of rubies early on from doing the toad to 99 fire making, so I just turned those in eventually once I was done. And the nice thing about this is that you could turn those in increments, so it's very UIM friendly. You don't have to turn 250 cut rubies all at once. You can just buy the gems from stalls and then cut them and then turn them in like 20 at a time or whatever for UIM. And then I also do have the Lithcrin teleport unlocked. You just use a regular dig site pendant on the strange machine down over there. The ornate jewelry box, that was a very fun mission. I remember going into the Wildy and thieving from the rogue's castle to get the dragon stones there. There's other ways to do it too, but at the time I didn't have like any untradables on me, so I could just leave everything on the ground for an hour at a time. I didn't have Song of the Elves done, so I couldn't do Volcano, although they nerfed the drop table now, so I don't know how that is for dragon stones. And I couldn't do Vorkath or Brutal Black Dragons at the time either, so that was a really fast way to get it done. It just took a couple hours for each upgrade. I want to say it was like maybe 8 or 10 dragon stones per hour on average doing that. I have the Cult Altar, so I can switch spellbooks anytime I want. And then, as you saw before, I have the Cerberus Jar. That's the only one that I have. And I'm actually really happy about that one, because after looking at this list here, that's probably the one I would prefer to have the most. So I'm really glad that I have that. Ironmen cannot enter other people's houses, and no one can enter an Iron Man's house. So I guess it doesn't technically matter, but you know, since I make videos, all of you get to see what I have in my house. I get to flex it every single time I teleport to my house and use the jewelry box. Or if I stream, you know, people can be like, damn, that guy's a PVMer. But little do they actually know I got that 150 KC. Okay, for the teleports I have built, I have Harmony Island for farm runs, and then I have Kirill, which I built for the diary a while back. I think it was Mauritania something diary. And that teleport's actually come in pretty useful for doing clue steps. And here are the ones that I have in the Nexus. I could upgrade one more time now since I've been training construction, but my plan is to wait until after I have 99 construction, because I want to make sure I have enough money for that. And then with leftover money, I'm probably going to build all the teleports, or all the relevant teleports in the Nexus, because I can just easily buy law runes at the Wizards Guild. I still have like 13k law runes left over from doing Zora, so those will be put to good use too. And I think once I build all the teleports in here, I won't need to hold on to the Tome of Fire anymore. And if I ever do want to alch, I can just get fire runes for like Slayer tasks or whatever, because the Tome of Fire essentially counts as 2 items, because it's untradeable when it has pages in it. So if I want to put it in the looting bag, I have to take the pages out, store the pages, and then store the actual tome separately. I'll eventually combine the fairy ring and the spirit tree and just build the combination in that room. I guess I could technically boost with a stew right now, but I'm going for 99 construction eventually anyways. I don't see a point to wasting like an hour or something just trying to stew. Plus I have to get another spirit sapling anyways. I think that's really the main things there are to show that I have built in the POH. I have the Gilded Altar. These torches don't actually do anything. They're just like for show. But whenever I get done with the Slayer task and I have some like baby dragon bones or something, I'll just keep them in my inventory and just get a little bit of bonus XP by just using them on the unlit altar. Better than just burying them, you know? Oh, I just noticed I still have the games room thing or whatever built here with the attack stone when I was training construction using limestone. I still have that there. I gotta delete that room though eventually. I like my house though. It's a nice 4x4. I guess the last thing to show here would be the servant's money bag. You can store up to 3 mil GP in here. I guess I have 2.3 mil in here at the moment. UIMs can use a servant, but they can't use the servant to make planks. They have very niche uses. Like I think one of them can make pineapple pizza or chocolate cake. So that could be useful for very niche scenarios, but I can't warrant like getting a butler just for that. This is more just like a really convenient way to get money out or put money in instead of having to teleport to Nightmare Zone each time, or teleport to Last Man Standing or whatever. I have nothing in the Last Man Standing cover, so I guess we'll just go to Nightmare Zone. I'll show you the money I have in there. I showed you the pets. I have the Ornate Pool. I don't think I pointed that out, but I have that. Oh, I guess I have nothing in here. That's right, because I took out the GP because I'm currently in the process of training construction / kind of fishing too. UIMs also cannot use Kingdom of Miscellaneous, so I do not have any money stored in there. I don't even know if you can put money in there. Maybe you can, but you can't get resources or anything from there. Oh, I never mentioned why I have the desert theme in my house. I live in the desert in real life, and I love it here. And I've had a lot of people say that they hate this style and it's really ugly, but I like it and it makes me feel like I'm at home. I guess I'll show you all the unlocks I have that I've used Slayer points for, or perks, or whatever things that I have here. I got the ability to make Slayer rings because they're useful for a couple tasks to get to them faster. I wouldn't generally keep a Slayer ring on me though. I make broad bolts all the time, and then I'll also be making broad arrows for at least 95 fletching. I need that for the diary cape. Do I have anything extended in here? Kraken. Remember when I was going for the trident? I think I've had a couple other things extended that I unextended after I got what I was looking for from them. And then here's what my block list looks like. I think it's a pretty standard list. I mean, if I had a lance, maybe I wouldn't have Drakes blocked. If I wanted to get more Zenites, I of course wouldn't have Black Demons blocked. I guess if I had a lance, maybe I wouldn't have these Metal Dragons blocked either. I never had a lance on any account though, not even my main. In my head, it's still a really new item, so I don't really know exactly how well it works. Here's the Slayer log. I don't know if there's too much notable stuff to point out here. We got 11 whips and how much Aberdeen KC? About 4k KC. We got 11 whips. So I don't think there's really anything specific to say, but you can see it all right here. Okay, completely reckless and unnecessary step here, but unfortunately the high scores do not show every single boss kill now. You have to have like a certain amount of kills on each boss in order for it to actually show up, depending on which boss you want to see. So we have to get the Ring of Wealth to show it because I don't have the adventure log built to my house. Plus, this was fun. It was for the content. We could have gone PK'd, and then we could be OSRS UIM loses it all OSRS. So if we search the stash, we can use the features on the Ring of Wealth to view the boss log. So stuff like Zami and Rex, or like these other ones, won't show up on the high scores because I don't have the minimum threshold KC to actually show up on the high scores. I've killed all the wildy bosses at least once for the diary. A lot of these things with the higher KCs will go through the high scores, and you can see like their ranks and stuff, because UIM ranks are very, very easy to compete for. Oh yeah, I like how I have one Mimic KC on this account, yet I still haven't gotten a Mimic on my main, so I don't have that music track unlocked. So I still don't have the music cape back on my main because of that, although I haven't really played it much in the last year or two, so I mean that kind of makes sense. We have a 70 Toad KC with 99 fire making because I did solo the entire way. I would definitely recommend for any new UIMs to go for 99 fire making right off the bat by doing solo games, because you'll get 70 construction if you solo the whole time. Okay, so I guess we are done over here. We can teleport back to the house now. What else do I have to point out? Oh, I didn't show the diary tab. Here's all the diaries. There's a few more that I can do now because I just spent a month training Runecraft to get level 91. That's the highest Runecraft requirement that I need for the diary cape. And like some of these diaries I have been able to do for a while, I just haven't gotten around to doing them yet because I just haven't had a reason to. But eventually diary cape will be a thing on this account. That's like the long-term goal that I have for now. What's up, Miles? I have all the Zaya favors, and then I have all the quests. You can see I have all the quest points, and then if we go down to the mini quests, yeah, I just have to do these. Again, no reason why I haven't done these, I just haven't had a reason to. Actually, I think that one costs 500k, but yeah, I could just get these done anytime, really. I should do that. I will at some point. I know I've kind of been showing the stats throughout the video here and there, but I'm going to say out loud now, here is a look at the stats. Pause the video if you want, but I'll go through the stats on the high scores in just a bit here. Okay, I guess just the last few miscellaneous things that I thought of to mention is that in the Forthos dungeon, I have all the things unlocked there. I have like the bone burner and the altar unlocked there. I have all the fires built from making friends with my arm. I spent 5 mil GP for the Edgeville respawn, which was definitely worth it. Because when you die to the Nettles in Edgeville, you just respawn a few tiles away and you can pick up your items right away. Music tracks, we have 587 out of 628. I think I could actually get pretty much all of these. I don't have a second fire cape to turn in for the Inferno music track. I got the Goblin Champion scroll for that music track. Probably relatively close to being able to get the music cape actually. That's all the things I want to show in game. So I'm going to show you some screenshots of the high scores right now. Hopefully I didn't forget to show you anything or mention anything. There might have been some very specific or niche things that I didn't mention, so if you are curious about anything that I didn't show, feel free to ask in the comments, and I will try to remember what I have or don't have. I feel like there's something really obvious that I just completely forgot about, but hopefully there's not anything like that. But let's go over to the high scores now. I'm actually not really sure what to say about the high scores. I mean, it's laid out in front of you. You could take a look at whatever you want to take a look at. But something about UIM that I really think that I enjoy a lot more than other accounts that I played before is that I really enjoy going for high scores and going for ranks. The UIM game mode has been out for about 5.5 years now. And it's pretty crazy to think that after playing this account for 1 year, I have all these like top 1K high scores and even some sub 100 high scores. Like if you look at Sarah, for example, that's the only front page one that I have at the moment, but rank 12 for Sarah after this game was been out for 5.5 years. Although to be fair, at least for the boss high scores, you have to have actually logged into your account since the boss high scores came out, otherwise it won't show up. So there could have been UIM from years ago that got a lot of boss KC, but just haven't logged in for years, so they don't show up on there. But in terms of the current active UIM player base, I guess the boss high scores are accurate for that. But yeah, I like going for high scores, so when I have post 99 XP like in the melee stats, or fishing from the sacred eels, or like thieving from when I was thieving stone chests or master farmers, all that post 99 XP doesn't bother me at all because, as I said, I really like seeing the ranks go up on this account. I'm currently recording this on April 17th, 2020, and the videos are a bit behind, so I know by the time you see this video, it'll probably be like sometime in May. But in terms of real time, the account is 1 year old. I really want to go back to Sarah to finish off that God Sword and build that stash unit, but if I try to hop worlds, I still get the message saying that hopping is restricted, and you kind of have to hop a lot of worlds from my experience when you're trying to find an empty world for Sarah. Plus, with the quarantine going on, the number of people playing RuneScape has been at a record high. I don't know if that's really going to affect Sarah and being crowded there, but I'd rather wait until this message isn't a thing and Jagex makes some kind of announcement saying that world hopping is not restricted anymore. So I'll most likely end up continuing on with construction until this message does go away. Final thoughts as we wrap up here. I've said this so many times because it's so true and probably will always remain true, but UIM is the most fun I've ever had playing RuneScape, and I totally get that it's definitely not for everyone, but something I really love about this game mode is that I feel like you're constantly taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Like, worst case scenario, you get hacked or you die in an unfortunate scenario where you lose all of your items on you. The thing that I really love is that you always keep all your quests, you always keep all your diaries, your stash units, you have all your stats still, everything in the costume room and your POH. And I feel like it's kind of like the feeling of those like old, what's it called, like dungeon crawler style RPGs or something, where you always like have to keep on going through, but then you die, but you get like stat points to spend each time you die based on how much progress you made. So even though it feels like you're taking steps back, you are overall progressing the account. I hope that makes sense. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. I appreciate it. I see this has actually turned out to be quite a long video, so thank you for watching through to the end. And with that said, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again very soon with the next UIM progress video.